like sleep, under stone and salt and wire. Names erased by soot and rain, kept alive in ash and fire. Old saints stare from broken glass, fingers black with time and smoke. Every seal and every scar tells the vow that I invoke. Open the door, let the old world breathe. I know the sign under broken reeds. Black candles call me in. Black candles call me in. I read the dust, I read the bone. Black candles call me in. Black candles call me in. The dead remember what we have known. Down below the iron bridge, there's a chapel in the mud. Hidden gold and rusted keys, sleeping under layers of blood. I hear the choir through the wall, low and far like buried rain. Every prayer, sharpened thread, pulls me closer to the name. Open the door, let the old world breathe. Under broken reeds. Black candles call me in. Black candles call me in. I read the dust, I read the bone. Black candles call me in. Black candles call me in. The dead remember what we have known. And if the night takes my hand, I will not turn away. I have seen the hidden face in the ruin and decay. Ancient mouth, iron tongue, speak through me again. From the vault to the street, let the shadows sing. Black candles call me in. Black candles call me in. I read the dust, I read the bone. The dead remember what we have known.
Good evening, my friends. We haven't seen each other for some time. I know that this is again unexpected, but this is my way. I was planning to do the stream tomorrow. Originally, I was planning to do it today. Then I was not feeling for it very well, very much. And I have finished some previous videos of mine today. You see that my schedule is quite frequent these days. And I was just looking at some other creators, and I saw some interesting comments on YouTube, and I decided maybe it's time. So here I am. Yeah, unexpected. But anyway, yeah, so I see here some familiar faces. I understand that you are currently in Prague. That's great thing. Yeah, I know it's already late. So anyway, if you will be sitting in Prague tomorrow, just visit those locations that I have advised you, you will be not disappointed. So, why I am here today? I think I owe you something. I was currently in the mid of the project to do specific videos or to approach the topics that I was approaching practically 5 years ago. Today is also a jubileum. It's exactly 5 years. Uh, 5 years ago, I have created my first demonology video about Belial. So 5 years have passed very fast. And when I'm looking at it, I see that a lot of things that were discussed before it, I was watching the video again today. Some of it I still agree with. Actually, a lot of things I agree with. I haven't, it did not changed, but these videos were very popular at that time. There were not that many occult channels at that time. I still remember a few channels that are not with us anymore. Some were cancelled due to a lot of magic drama. Some of our practitioners also stopped working. So when I look at the current situation on YouTube, there are new people coming in. There are new videos about spirits. There are some old behemoths of the industry like Behemoth X. I don't know whether he is watching, whether he is still watching. He was frequenting some of my streams years ago, so it's a person that I deeply respect, and he's still with us, still producing amazing content. So, and why I'm also mentioning him, yeah, because still I consider his production one of the best in the industry, or how to say it, or in our uh, group or our currents of people that discuss spirits, Goetia, Goetia, and other things. But recently, I see also in his very well made videos, he's starting to use AI, which I totally approve. And I will be discussing today, I think, with you a lot of comments that I got, a lot of hate why I'm doing things like I am doing them. So this video is also a little bit explaining what is happening behind the scenes of these new videos. But uh, thank you that more of you are joining. That's great that I am here with you again. So it's 5 years since I made the first video about the about Belial. And later on, a few weeks later on, I started, or a few months during that period, it was like a cycle that is like returning again. I really felt that it's like a time to discuss this, to make some videos, and it became quite popular at that time because I wanted to approach the topic a little bit from historical perspective, but not only from historical perspective, but also from the perspective of a practitioner. What you feel during the invocations, how it affected me. Yeah, uh, it was subjective. It is still subjective. Yeah, some people might say, yeah, this is not true. I have seen it differently, and so on. But during the years, I feel that it's still become like it's not dead. Yeah, that there is definitely some current, something into it, and these videos were with me for many years and affected me in a way. And later on, I moved, of course, back to the other ones. Yeah, so I changed the topics. I discussed more history of magic, grimoires, worked with tarot. We did also a lot of cooperations with other practitioners. So yeah, yeah, I was also not expecting. I was feeling that it's right time for it. So it's night, evening in Prague. We are now in the same time zone. So you see, it's quite late. So this is my time when I am making videos. So rarely, but I still do them. Yeah. So I was exploring the topics through what I actually felt or what interested me. So it was literature, grimoires, later on educational videos. I now have like I think 129 videos that are online. Some of them I had to put away. I will explain also why, but these 129 videos is a whole like overview of a lot of topics that interest me. Those that are still considered the most visited, and I'm not much into that. Like, okay, of course, every YouTuber or creator likes if the videos are being watched. So I think that video of Asmodeus has now 52,000 views, which is for such niche channel about really hardcore occultism, I would say a great success. If you type in Asmodeus, you will get practically my video as the first, or maybe second or third. But YouTube algorithm somehow chooses these videos. Yeah. So uh, then there were those that I had to put down. Yeah, so there are not that many. Few of them were called Saturnian night events. Some of you that are with me like for 5 years or so on might remember that Saturnian night events were done only after midnight, and I was going through difficult period of my time then, and I was doing them, some of them under influence even, but those videos were good. Yeah, by under influence I mean alcohol. Yeah, so not much, but sometimes I was like strengthen myself, and I did a lot of videos about where I discussed really dark things sometimes, and I felt that maybe it's not proper even for my channel is practically for adult people. All videos are 18 plus. Yeah, even YouTube knows about it. But so I put those videos down because I was feeling I don't feel the moments like that I feel embarrassed, not anymore. But I just decided that those are maybe not that the videos that I feel myself still like it wasn't giving me pleasure. Others videos that we we have to put down, and still you can find them, but under the paywall. And I got a lot of criticism because of that paywall. They are on Patreon, and it's not because I want to make money from it. Actually, the Patreon is practically paying for, and thank you for those that are part of it. I know that my schedule, even for you, is very rare. But I do have some videos there, mostly trainings with some which are very old, but some trainings with other practitioners, and they are old. But there are some videos there with a practitioner that is no longer with us. Maybe you remember Anima Neura and the Devil's Disciples series. We made, I think, 25 videos together. And I still don't agree with many things that she said, but I did not want it to have it practically online because I felt that I wanted to avoid sensationalism. So uh, I would be okay even to donate the price for those videos, or the money for those videos somewhere, but I don't know where anymore. So I put them under paywall, and those interested with about it, not because of sensationalism, can watch it. Yeah. So, but I'm not making an advertisement. It was just a question that you have asked. So there are a few videos that are there. Even from these 20 videos or something, I few videos I put, even they are not even on Patreon. Mostly some that I felt that Anima in the later days of her practice started to go through periods of course, there's a lot of magicians with through difficult things in her life, and I felt that it was too much for others that are not involved. Yeah, so to to look in her life. Yeah, so that's, and some videos that we did with other practitioners at the beginning, I put them also away. I was requested. I got some requests from practitioners that are not making public appearances anymore. That they don't want to be there, so I respected it. We had a few videos with even people around that circle that become a living god at that time, and it came with a lot of drama, so I didn't want it to be involved. So these videos are not available, or are even on Patreon you will not find it. So I wanted to avoid this time of drama. What is in is 90% of the of all things that I did can be still on the channel. Why I speak so long about it, because, or too much about it, because today I have recently read a comment on another channel about made by someone that Magister Clavus is evil because he has put a lot of videos under paywall. I replied to that comment that, well, maybe I am not that kind person sometimes. I understand that, but uh, yeah, majority of the things are available. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, why not? I have never met Mr. Cotting. Honestly, I have met some people around his circle. I have read some books by Mr. Cotting. Uh, I consider him a good writer. I don't know what he's writing right now. There were a lot of negative publicity many years ago about some things that, yeah, like some people were visiting his trainings, and there were this person that later on in England caused crime. So you can find it in the newspapers, but it was not. I believe it was not Mr. Cutting's fault. Yeah, you can have very strange people joining these circles. You don't know whom you have. Yeah, so unfortunately, that backlash caused also him to that the YouTube turned the channel down. Uh, so I understand that he's still available or working on some other platforms, but that was my understanding. But I knew a few people from that area, but I was not. I am from Europe, so it's not my circle. Yeah, he's living in the US, so we are not that connected. Never there. Yeah. So later on, I moved into additional content more. I was doing these streams that sometimes took a lot of time, 2 hours, 3 hours to discuss things with you, which is great, but they never get into that amount of like that so many people wanted to see it. Yeah, but I didn't mind. There was a few hundred views that with very people that are deep in the topic, the comments, everything was perfect. But the reason why I wanted to reinvent the videos about demonology and return back to the spirits, because I worked a little bit with different currents. I traveled quite a lot in recent 2 years. I worked a little bit with the voodoo currents, another pantheons, energetical egregores, planetary spirits, and so on. So Goetia was always there. I always felt it, but I haven't been working much with this type of spiritual current, let's say. Yeah, uh, but it was always there, and I felt like in time that it's time to return back to the original practice. And I was getting a lot of questions like, what do I think about that spirit? What do I think about this and that? And the questions were repeating itself. And with the development of new technologies, I I came into like strange moment when I wanted to, and now it's like 5 years practically since I created this Belial and Asmodeus video, and I felt like it's maybe good time to revisit the topic from the position of someone that was in this for years and was practicing more, and how do I see it. And when I was watching those videos of the past, I realized that I still don't understand these things. It's still enigma. I have more questions that I had before, because in those videos I was discussing history, maybe looking at their sigils, trying to understand it. Yeah. But when I worked a little bit more with Faustian grimoires in the meantime, other systems outside of Lesser Key of Solomon, let's say, uh, True Grimoire, Grimoirum Verum, or even other books, Picatrix, and so on. And working with planetary magic, I started to feel that there are connections. Yeah, that the spirits are heavily influenced by the planetary energies. Their sigils are heavily influenced. That sometimes during specific days, months, we when we are invoking or even evoking some kind of energy, uh, the results are different, but there is this context. Yeah, and that all of these, like one of my viewers called it, that these spirits that we are working with were changed in the time through the heavy sediments of the human interaction. I think he meant that when we are invoking the spirits, we are getting different results when we were invoking the same spirit maybe 200 years ago, 300 years ago, because we approach the spirit through lenses of different cultural concept. Yeah, in current era, we have a little bit different understanding than of the world around us. We perceive nature a little bit differently before, for compared, for example, to a medieval person. Yeah, so all of these grimoires of the past, with these heavy Christian-like connotations, uh, it was different. Yeah, later on, the demonology books, I had my times when I was against it. I was saying this is too new, this new school is not working. I'm more traditionalist. But it definitely changed the way how we work with the spirits. They are not kinder, they are not better, but the energy is different. Yeah. So, and I realized that approaching the same topic again would be just repeating the same content. And I also understood that it's practically impossible to describe the spirit what it is by simply words, because they are uh, not working in a way that we can like simply understand them. Yeah, it's like meta language working with them. So this is a question that is a good follow up. Thank you for asking that. Uh, Many modern practitioners even they use this new newspeak, like they are not even using the word spirit. Yeah, they are more using this word egregor, some kind of spiritual energetical angle or center that is emanating some type of energy, uh, planetarial, spiritual, astral, and so on. These egregores, I made a lot of videos about it, can be even in our real world. They can be strong topics or themes that humanity is obsessed about. Sport, football clubs, big companies, Coca-Cola. That can be an egregore. Yeah, working within the some organization, working with it, revisiting the sport events all the time. It's being fueled by the energy of people. And yes, these egregores, these spirits, are fueled by our energy. If you do some kind of magical ritual, you feel that there is a depletion. Yeah, that there is always some way how to take it back. But uh, these are, let's say, egregoric entities, beings, whether they are real or they are not real. I know that it sounds strange, but there is no answer for that. They can be as real as they are. Yeah, they change our psyche. They definitely influence us. Maybe some people would say I don't perceive them physical, but they have definitely mental effect on us. If you are going deep into it, it's the same way if you are working with some kind of egregore. If you are too deep into sports, if you are too deep into your work, if you then it's gonna change you, because it overlaps. You are becoming part of it. People that are very strong in Christianity, they are becoming part of it. People that are strong in Islam, they accept the type of culture. It changes them. Yeah, working and any type of ritual is not one-sided. If you work with some kind of egregore, it's going to influence you also back. So the strange or interesting thing is that some egregores are so strong that they can be practically, we can say they are autonomous, that they are fueled so much that they get some kind of autonomy. And they have tendency to affect us in a way. So when you are working with egregore that we can call Asmodeus, you will get certain feelings, you will get certain patterns back. Yeah, it's going to also affect you. That's why I really am fascinated by the depth of Behemoth X, the fellow YouTuber and practitioner workings, because he's showing his rituals. That's very rare. I'm not doing that. He's doing that. Yeah. So you can feel, although it's like cut and he's not showing everything, of course, sigils and things like that. If you haven't seen Behemoth X, then you will probably feel how very deep entranced work in Goetic practice looks like. Yeah, but it's really like stellar. It you don't have to have such temple like he has, of course. It's not necessary. Yeah, you can use different ways. But back to the egregores. Yeah, so and why I think that they are being changed, because they are being fueled by some sort of energy. I don't believe that they can die totally. Yeah, like there is always something that remains, but it's more like passive, like something that it's like really like sleeping. Yeah. So, but if it's being channeled, it changes. It is not channeled only by human energy. I think it's channeled also by nature, elements, things like that. So human input is not totally necessary for it to survive. But if you are fueling it, it also gives something back, because magic never works one-sided. Yeah, it's always when you are connecting with another world. I will use otherness. the otherness becomes part of you. So the society is changing culturally, but we still have the urges that we had like 10,000 years ago. So yes, consciousness, culture, our society is different. So are spirits being changed. When I did a very old video about Astaroth, a lot of people that were new to the terminology, when I explained that historically, of course, we can say that the name is practically the changing from Ishtar, Astarte, Astaroth. Yeah, the name is changing. The cultures are changing it. It has these sediments of cultures, and people are saying, no, it's just this Astar. No, historically, that's not true. It is the same egregor that is somehow being transformed. Yeah, but it has this, for example, fire element, lunar element, and so on. So egregors are being changed, but partially. And I realized that looking at the spirits from the perspective of grimoires that are maybe made in the 1800s, like Lesser Key of Solomon, yeah, or Greater Key of Solomon. These books historically, if we omit these legends about King Solomon, that it's very nice, of course, but it's not based on the historical truth. A lot of grimoires starting 15th century up to 18th, 19th century, they were popular. So a lot of books were made depicting spirits, demons, and so on. But they were made in this time. Yeah. So looking at the spirits currently, it's different. Yeah. We are a little bit. We are a little bit. I would say we have different difficulties to understand the logic and the energy of those depictions, like from Dictionnaire Infernal and so on. The time has changed. The spirits, like the Clauneck spirits, if we can say, I have explained this in the earlier time, so of course you can check it, but honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I prefer world egregor because it's more closer to our modern cultural understanding than using the word spirit. Because when you start to work with what is spirit, yeah, if you ask shamanistic culture, they will say you it's everywhere. Yeah, they can feel the spirits of water, they can feel spirits of the trees. We are cut from this nature if you are not living fully outside of cities where majority of populace is living. If you are not feeling the time, the stars, the lunar cycles, if you are really not exposed to the natural phenomena in the depth, like people 1000 or 500 years ago, still you will be not for us the world spirit is a little bit even dangerous, because when we say spirit, a lot of people would say, oh, it's some kind of we tend to anthropomorphize the spirit. Yeah, we make them friends. Yeah, we make them like little deities. Yeah, so that's the majority of people that start with working with this egregoric or this beings, if we give them this attribute of to be. Yeah, so that makes them not they become one dimensional. Oh, it's a spirit. Oh, everything is a spirit. What is a spirit? What is the context of the spirit? That's why I theoretically start to avoid it. I understand the spirit if I would be a shaman in Siberia. Yeah. So, but for me, it is more modern understanding, something that is more clicking with my way of understanding as a person in the 21st century. I would say, yeah, that's an egregoric entity, being, or egregor, energetical, spiritual, astral. Egregor, we can say it's also like materialization of astral light. Astral light is infused by planetary energies and so on. But I don't want to go into the details of it because every kind of specific theory that we give to it, oh, it's this, or it's that, it makes them less we tend to categorize, all of us humans tend to create categorizations of nature, spirits. We have dogs. What sort of dog is this? What sort of spirit is this? Yeah, that creates an illusion, because then once we categorize something in a box, we stop to think about it, we stop to perceive it. And if you try to approach a spirit or egregor as something that you don't know, you don't give it some kind of box, you don't give it some kind of hierarchy. Even hierarchy, that's what Lesser Key of Solomon was doing. Hierarchy, princes, presidents. Why? Because they came from the feudal time. They don't have other understanding of it. Yeah, they wanted to create systems. So that absolutely like cut that connection with the unknown, with other, something totally other to our biological existence. So I always, when I'm approached by questions, are spirits, egregores real, or are they not real? What is real? Is our thought real? Are they real, like physically? Some say yes, some say no. Probably not like that I can do handshake with them. Yeah. But definitely working with this type of energy or egregor, it's going to affect you. It's also going to affect others around you. These are very strong polarities, that I would say. So the question is very good. The answer is complicated. So I prefer the word egregor because it gives me this. I don't want to box them. I don't know what they are. I perceive them in a way that I see that, okay, they have some kind of energetical connections. I feel some kind of feelings when working with them. But I don't try to even ask the question whether they are real or they are not. It's the meta question behind that. What they mean to me without categorizing them. And if you get into that moment, because for the shaman of the from 1,000 years ago, there was not if you would ask him the question, are spirits real? He would be looking at you puzzled, because for him the reality is not like this is real, this obsidian ball, what it is. Is it obsidian piece of stone, or is it something that I can look through it, what it is? Yeah. For the shaman, the question would be strange because he would not understand the question, what the reality is. This is the blocker that we have created, and it was created through education, through development of science. I'm not anti-scientific, yeah, but really, once we started to categorize things, we created some sort of model and some pattern, some paradigm, and we can't see things beyond it. Magic is about seeing beyond or multidimensionally. So when I went to that question, that how should I approach the topic that I did 5 years ago, when I really like know certain things, when I work with egregor, I feel some kind of energy. From one egregor, I feel one thing. From other egregor, I feel other thing. When I was working with other systems that were, for example, like Faustian systems based on planetary energy, Faustus, he was actually, I made a video about him. I believe he was a real person. Was saying that when you work with a specific sigil, he was creating sigils for the spirits, and he was practically using some sort like I can create from the astral area whatever egregor I want, because I want him to be partially doing this or that, and I want to connect with that being. It's so strange. There are like billions. Yeah. So he was creating sigils, the calling signs, the sigillum, the symbol that we see in the Lesser Key of Solomon, for example. So many nice things. He was making a little bit different ones, but he was working like this should have enough of Saturnian symbolism. It should have Jupiterian signs. Why he was working with planets? Because it was this astrological model, yeah, more chthonic, more Saturnian, more warlike, Martian, and so on. And he created the sigils that, for example, when he wanted to have some action, some active spirit or something, he used a lot of Martian signs in it. He drew it even in the red color and so on. This technique was later on developed also by Franz Bardon later when he was creating sigils of his own. He was using colors. It's considered quite complicated way to create sigils, but he was using similar techniques. And they were calling signs. Sigils are calling signs. So when you are working with sigillum or seal, you are connecting with specific energy, and those that were masters of it could see practically from the sigillum, from the seal, that okay, this is this type, this is that type of spirit. He was able to paint it, yeah, using a lot of alchemical symbols. That's why many symbols are so similar. If you are looking at voodoo veves, they are not that difficult different from the seals of the medieval grimoires. Some might say yes, because a lot of practitioners of voodoo in Haiti, they were aware of the grimoires. Yeah, they took some grimoires from Europe and they created the system together with the Afro American populace and so on. So it's united. Or is the question that they just felt that some symbols are right? Yeah. So sometimes when practitioners are not that, and some people are not working in that way. They are visualizing instead of knowing alchemically what sigillum means what, but they are visualizing their own sigil. And there were even experiments with people that can have very strong seeing, that they somehow do similar symbols for the same spirit. Even though they don't know each other, they create similar symbol. So the egregor has some kind of stamp. Yeah, you are connecting. Maybe the egregor is not, an egregor is not automatic. Again, it can have different scales. When you work with egregor or spirit during January, you will have different connection than when you are working with him maybe in summer, because there are different compositions of planetary energies. Life, nature is in different moment. Yeah, so it's like in nature, some species are not that active during winter and so on. Some spirits or egregors are difficult to connect. That's why there are planetary hours, planetary months, and so on. And it changes. It's very difficult to describe what egregor is. How is this spirit? And now imagine that we have Lesser Key of Solomon that was done in the 18th century, and it says simply, this spirit is this and that. Yeah, it says he has these powers. Yeah, so when I look at let's say I don't know what is here. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one is my favorite. Yeah, Astaroth. Yeah, she's interesting. So when you read like Astaroth sigil, which is by the way interesting, but it's not visualized. It's just created. Yeah. So um, it's written like there is a 29th spirit and it is Astaroth. So medieval theory, 72 spirits. we will give it her rank because it's powerful. Yeah, he is a mighty strong duke. Of course, in the time they gave it even like a gender. Yeah, so it's interesting to give something that is like egregoric or without the entity some kind of gender. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, appears in the form of a heartful angel riding on an infernal beast like a dragon and carrying in the right hand a viper. Yeah, so they immediately gave it some kind of iconic symbolism. And in medieval time, everyone was expecting it looks like this. Usually, when now some practitioners work with Astaroth, very rarely they invoke this medieval diabolic form in their visualization, because we are using different lens, different cultural sediment. Yeah, interesting, however, is that we can that they are giving these spirits some kind of because they are connected with nature, so they give them forms. They call them dragon, they call them a viper. So if you are trying to understand what the spirit is according to these medieval books, what is the representation of dragon in history, in legend, in myth? It's something old, chthonic, I mean, underworld, dangerous, extremely powerful, viper, yeah, the sin, yeah, the snake that is changing, that is flexible. They even later say that the breath of Astaroth is full. A lot of people say, oh, in medieval times, those more naive thought that, oh, if you invoke Astaroth, she has this full breath and you will die because of that smell. Yeah. But by full breath, we can say that she might be not saying always truth, that she might put your mind into doubt because she perceives reality through different ways. Yeah. So how we can explain through 5 sentences or what the spirit is? And if you look at the majority, and I don't say everyone, but majority of the modern videos about spirits, I always like smile at it. I saw a video recently that someone was trying to explain 72 spirits of Goetia in a video that was maybe 20 minutes long. I'm here speaking 40 minutes and we even haven't touched the subject. It's so, and that's the danger of it. Like when you are looking at the videos, you look for, this that does this, that this does that. Yeah. So the question, like there are two questions here, and both are perfect. But let me answer first the second one. Do you have experience with Shemyaza? Can you talk about it? So my experience is practically not good for you, because once I start to discuss to you what might be this, yeah, the first leader of fallen angels, what he might represent to me, how do I perceive him? By the way, if you are interested about it, read the Lucifer Princeps book. Yeah, that's quite a good book. Yeah, it will open because you have to understand it from historical context. It's enriching. It's not boring. It helps, because if I frame it in 5 minutes, oh, Shemyaza is this, is that, I had this feeling from him, and so on, you will be limited with your own understanding of it. That's the danger of all these books. That's why it created this fear that Astaroth has a full breath. Shemyaza might do this, might do that. So I understand that the question is the curiosity is in the person, Yeah, we are all curious being. That's why magic interests us, to understand the other, to feel it. But we as humans are also have tendency to categorize. And once you start to categorize, you are losing the connection with the spiritual world. So yes, I do have my own opinion about it, but because I don't want to spoil your experience, I would be more interested about like exchange. I felt like this. Okay, I can say it, but I don't want, because there are a lot of people and they will say, "Oh, Magister Clavus said this or that." Yeah, it's better to try to feel it. Yeah, and that brings me to the second question: ask the spirit, "Who are you?" Then you might get that answer. But of course, there is a question like, how can I awaken my senses to communicate with spirits? And this is a long discussion. Yeah. So everything in life, that when you want to go there, it's this. First of all, you have to unblock yourself from all of the information that is being like produced. Spirit does this, spirit does that. You have to work on your own senses. So I made a lot of videos about it, but I don't want to repeat myself here. But I recommend you to read Franz Bardon's Initiation into Hermetics. It's a nice book. Franz Bardon, everyone knows there. It's or if not, no problem. Uh, in my new videos, I put it under the description because I consider this book an important book. A lot of modern practitioners would say Franz Bardon, he is overrated. No, I returned to Franz Bardon after 20 years. When I am doing these new videos, I will be speaking about them soon. And his teachings are extremely good. If you go through that cultural sediment and moralization, like you have to be a good person and so on, in a way he says that because you have to have like strong integrity, and then you work on the visualization techniques, cleansing of your mind, mostly visualization, yeah, concentration techniques, cleaning your mind in that way that when your mind is so blank, it's not affected by your internal disposition, ego, things. Everyone does that. Then you are open to receive. And the techniques are very nicely written there. Yeah, I would be repeating a lot of things, but this is something that I really recommend. There are other books, but if you want to go through like strong preparation, read Franz Bardon's Initiation into Hermetics. There are other books like Querea, yeah, big, huge books that have thousands of pages. There is Crowley's Liber Abba book for, not bad. But me personally, if you ask me, I would say from those that I have really, which affected me, and when I was starting as a young kid, with this. I started with Franz Bardon because he was firstly translated after communism. So, and it changed my life. Yeah. So, yeah. So, when one more question, I think I can certainly understand not wanting to create preconceptions and biases, though. Do you also not run the risk of parasitic entities impersonating in that scenario, going in blind? No, I would say that especially working with egregoric entities, we are discussing over and over. It requests a specific goetic entities, and I always said this is not a game. I was one of those that was always saying that I don't consider them a friends. I don't consider them like, oh, the spirit is going to help me because he likes me. I think that you have to have technical preparation for it. So once you master Franz Bardon's book, it might take you around 1 year through visualization, working with the magnetic fluids and so on, elemental concentration. you will be able to dream. You can do protection rituals. That's the basics. Yeah. Then of course, then you can work with this is advanced stuff. Yeah. So I think that parasitic entities and things like that definitely they are there, but you can avoid 95% of these things if not you. Sorry, yeah, someone. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, my language is like that, but not you as people that you do that kind of trainings, homeworks. It takes few months. Yeah, can be able to avoid these type of things. But of course, if someone is just doing it out of the curiosity, it's like with sports, with everything. Someone starts with martial arts or go into the boxing match or MMA match without training, so he will end badly. He does not know how to fall. Yeah, so it's the same with magic. Magic is not easy. Yeah, and it's dangerous. It is. It can psychologically mess you up. Look at the people that are around us, that are like subjects to skies. I don't say like sometimes paranoias, but I don't mean like physical illnesses. I mean really people that are or become prey to sects, so people get into this naivete. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people that when they were not ready, they got into psychological issues, and they were healthy before, mostly because of the fear, mostly because, and maybe they met some kind of parasite, but they were not able to do simple banishing, and then they become the ego started, things like that. So I don't think that it's dangerous for anyone. That uh, it's like in real life, like self-defense. Okay, you don't have to be a professional military specialist, but when there is a danger, so you just go away. You are self-aware. Yeah, self-awareness helps a lot against this, especially if you go into the heavy egregoric work. That's not 100% chance that you will be not affected. I am affected. Even these weeks and months through the new work that I am doing, I am affected, and I think I have trained a lot for this. So, but when we are starting with simple invocations, if you want to invoke Shemyaza without training, yeah, you will get parasite. You will not get such a highly powerful energetical connection, because to connect to the egregor, you have to have some kind of preparation. You have to concentrate for it. Yeah, so I think yes, there is a risk, but if you do the basic homework, the risk is minimized a lot. Yeah. So I know that we should be speaking. I know that there is a lot of things about practice. Yeah. So, but before we move to the questions about practice, I noticed these questions. I still want to speak about my approach, my recent approach, why I do videos and picture those spirits in these strange AI pictures with very strange music and strange texts. So I hope I will be able to answer a little bit why I do it, and then we can discuss also how I do it. But why I do it is momentarily important. Yeah. So why? And we have to go back into the history of it. So currently there is an idea. I was reading and watching some people on other channels and people, practitioners, people just going through it, and we're saying like AI, how to call it, how they call it, AI slop or something like that. Like people hate AI, yeah, because it's you have YouTube of full of cheaply, very cheaply made. My videos are also not that expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive to do a proper CGI effects. Yeah, I'm not that rich, but but it's random generated. You see that people do a video about vampires, so they say, make me a video about vampires, give some coffins there and something, and uh, make it, yeah, and make it like that. It should be like modern music because people like some kind of modern music, and no sound or some vocals, and make me some kind of song, and it creates this, yeah. Then or I saw some, it's easy relatively to create 1 hour album with totally nonsensical things, yeah. And why it's done? Because yeah, people watch at it, yeah, people have, I don't say that they, why they are doing this, because they want to see like focus music or something. I want to learn, so put me, you understand that it's, everyone sees that, yeah. But people are becoming allergic, mostly those that are a little bit used to sounds and music. They understand, okay, this is AI generated. More and more people get into it, yeah. So these videos are not that popular there that were before. And the the thing is that, as I can't describe what the spirit is through words, because you ask me question, is it the spirit or egregor? And I don't know how to answer, or sometimes I try, but it's difficult. And I want to avoid the trap of creating some kind of limits. I started to look at it differently. And it's not only that I started, I felt that during my invocations, visualizations, how do I do it? I will explain later, maybe, I don't know. It's a long topic. I use a lot of magic mirrors, by the way. So I realized that another way how to depict a spirit was always picture. It's nothing new. Music is another form, but the picture, the symbol, can be explained now more than it was before. So I will give you a few examples what I mean by that. Yeah. So just let me show this. The question, but before I do it, like, no, I wouldn't say that egregor is fully Jungian archetype, or might be connected with it, because Jung was also an alchemist, and he was very much into, but he never defined it. From magical perspective, egregor is concentrated astral light that is self-autonomous, that is fueled by planetary energy, humans, and so on, or human interaction. Archetype is some kind of, we know, like that it's some basic or important puzzle of the human psyche. And there are school of magicians that say, yeah, these spirits are part of us. That those are those that are not maybe too much into ceremonial magic, but say, yes, it's a psychological thing. Some people say, no, they are different. No, this is human. So we can say, I would say that it's a slight difference. Yeah. Maybe maybe the egregors are very closely working with these patterns in our human psyche: hate, love, death, thanatos, eros. Yeah, these strong archetypal archetypes, but they are manifestations of that archetype. But you see, I got almost in that trap, like what it is, but I think that they are not the same. Yeah. So difficult question, but if I show you, I wanted to show you something, we will understand a little bit. So there is a book, you have probably heard about it. Yeah. It was first published in 1818. Yeah. So it's no, oh, this is my favorite. It's Faustus' book, but I did not want it to show you that one. This one, Dictionnaire Infernal, yeah, by Colin de Plancy, 1880. This is a later edition, I think 1826 or something. It's French, obviously. So, what it is, you have heard it probably. It's a demonology book. Colin de Plancy was a Catholic priest. And he was first almost atheistic. It was not problematic for Catholics to be atheistic. Yeah, he thought that Christianity as such as moral principles. Yeah, he would say, yeah, I believe in God, but it was more like morality, culture, sediment. Yeah, we should. And he was a big enemy of occultism and magic. Yeah, I see some people are getting asleep. Sorry about that, but what can I do? Yeah. So uh, he was a opponent of occultism in that time in 1820 1830s. Spiritualism was on the rise. Yeah, so he was, oh, this is all nonsense, it is just a scam and everything. And so he created a book called Dictionnaire Infernal, which spoke about these demons. And he took these books like from the egregors, yeah, that uh, these egregoric or spirits or old gods, yeah, Mammon, Lucifer was not there, Asmodeus, Beelzebub, yeah, these old lesser key of Solomon books, 72 spirits, but even he took some others, yeah. And he said, like, this is all nonsense. Yeah, this is all just like nonsensical, and people believe in it, and it's not good for our society. It creates the charlatanism and so on. And he approached and he did not believe in it at all, yeah, Colin de Plancy. And he said, we have to give these spirits, not the spirits, these false gods, these beings, like caricatures, yeah. So everyone would see how funny and stupid they are. And he approached another artist, and he even paid like a lot of money. And the guy was called Jacques Paul Ming. The Jacques Paul Ming. He was also a Catholic priest. Yeah, so this is him, by the way. Yeah, yeah. So this is the author of the caricatures of all the demons that are later on in the Lesser Key of Solomon. And he approached this, and he asked for a lot of money. This guy, by the way, at that time, I don't remember the price, but it was quite expensive. And they told him, okay, it's a lot of pictures, and I will have to do these type of things. So how many pictures do you want me to create? And later on, Colin de Plancy created a lot of new books for that. And you know these pictures. Everyone knows them. So this one, no, this is from the Lave. Sorry, I have so many. Yeah, so let's see. This is Asmodeus. You see, dragon. There is a bull. There is a snake. It represents, yeah. It represents the variety, the dragon, the negativity. He wanted to make them monstrous. Yeah, the legs are this, these are that. Yeah. He practically pictures that Asmodeus as this. Yeah. So it was it should have been a caricature. Yeah. So then he said Astaroth. Yeah, we passed Astaroth like full breath. She has a dragon and a viper in her hand. She is like a dragon and has a viper in her hand, and her breath is full, and she rides a dragon. Yeah, this is Astaroth, the demonic medieval spirit described by Colin de Plancy. And it was meant as a caricature. Yeah. Then they made other ones. Belphegor. Belphegor was a and is still considered like a spirit of France. He is a demon of sloth. Yeah, so they made the yes, Lesser Key of Solomon was made anonymously. But Lesser Key of Solomon was published mostly with these Colin de Plancy books later. So we know that Lesser Key of Solomon is a relatively new book because it uses Colin de Plancy's pictures many times. Yeah, even Gregor Matters in 1930s. These pictures were made in 1818. Yeah, and then you have more. So yeah, it's not 2000 years old book, yeah, but the history that is being used there, of course it's used from the older grimoires. Yeah, the descriptions are medieval. Yeah, but back to Colin de Plancy. Yeah, he said Belphegor is a demon of sloth, a big pest of France. Yeah, because sloth is an enemy of society. So they said, yeah, Belphegor is a demon of sloth, and sloth is bad, and we have to depict the sloth in the worst possible way. So they choose this. This is Belphegor sitting on a toilet. Yeah. So it's practically a picture of a spirit that just, instead of good work, he just, yeah, as I said, Belphegor is a spirit. You see, it's a egregor. So I sometimes use the word. Yeah. So he's sitting on a toilet. Yeah, because that's the only way that, instead of planning, instead of working, you just sit and you expect the results. Yeah. So this is what these are just the examples of Jacques Paul Mine, the author of the books. The problem was that the whole book was meant as a criticism of spiritualism, but people took it um, quite yeah, digestion. People took it quite literally, because we have this mind that we need to give it some boxes. Yeah, and a lot of practitioners and magicians started to use those pictures together with the sigils, because it was improving their visualization for the actual invocation of the egregores or spirit. At the time it was spirits. Yeah. So I will be using spirits, sorry, today, because for the easier understanding of things. So they started to work with the spirits using the pictures. And they started to have even the visions sometimes, because these pictures depicted viper, dragon, tectonic energies, and so on. So whether they wanted to create some kind of comedy of it, unconsciously they created the visualization for these spirits. And Colin de Plancy was extremely unhappy about it. He, however, encountered several things, because Jacques Paul Mine, the author of the pictures, and Colin de Plancy was the author of the text. Jacques came to Colin de Plancy and told him, I can't do these pictures anymore. I'm getting nightmares. I'm getting so many nightmares through this. I'm putting my creativity into it. What are you saying? This is just like, are you crazy? No, this is real. I'm getting. He did not want it to produce the pictures anymore, because the artist had to read those books, and he was depicting them in a way that was used for the 18th and 19th century caricaturization. Yeah, in the old newspapers, they were using not this one. Sorry, still have this one. Pictures like this. Yeah, they were used practically they were cut in the soft metal. Then there was atrament printed on it. There was like printing tables, so they could mass produce these these pictures. So calling the Plancy then later accused Jacques that you just want money. You want more money for this, for the more pictures. And he said, okay, you have to finish it because you have the artistical talent for it. And it is disturbing, right? It is. Yeah, they are disturbing. These are disturbing pictures. And it has something in it. Look. And he told him, you have this feeling for it. And we are doing a good work because we are depicting them as caricatures, as a grotesques. So they continued the production. It started to sell very well, but not only by fearful Catholics, but it became a sensation. So it's becoming to be a good product. But Colin de Plancy was extremely unhappy about it, even that it was profitable. And strangely, later on, he started to say that he was misused, that something practically misused him, that he had like a good idea, but he, instead of depicting the spirits negatively, he promoted them. And Jacques also had a strange situation, because once he stopped doing the pictures, he moved to other productions. And later on, he had like a publishing house that was making the pictures. He had these metal plates that were used practically like for the printing machines for the newspaper pictures, and it catched fire, and all his business burned to the ground. Yeah, like Jacques Paul Min was never able to get through the catastrophe. His own business catched fire. Yeah, and so once he stopped making the pictures. Yeah, so later in some years. So interesting story. But why I'm saying this? They created something that affected the ideas, the visuals, how we perceive the demonic energies and spirits until today. When you look when you search Astaroth or something, you will see either a sigil or you will see these pictures. And when I was in this feeling that I should be depicting something differently because this is 200 years old, that how we should perceive the spirits right now, how should we, I was thinking that I should be using the same technique but differently. That's why I am using AI. I am prompting AI through the visualization that I have. When I work with the spirits, sometimes I get the birds or things, and I put it into the texts. The texts are made by me. The pictures are AI generated, but they are generated through complex prompts that I am doing. And you would be very surprised. I know that like with the prompts, sometimes it's not about censorship that the prompt does not run through. Yeah, sometimes there are so many strange situations that like the prompt is not loading, even easy prompts. Yeah, it's not about the overload or something. It's just creates nonsense. Yeah, and then it creates something that it's almost like breathtaking. So when I started to work on these new albums, I was starting to work on text. Sometimes the spirits say words that I heard in my invocations. Yeah. Some people that are working with it also told me that once working with it, yeah, they have strange feelings similar to myself. Yeah. And I came up with the idea, how would that spirit, because we tend to anthropomorphize them, do we still need to describe Astaroth in the way of the dragon? If you will look at the album that I created, you will see a dragon, but it's a little bit different. It's not only picture. Also, the spirits are more plastic. They change in ages. I sometimes discuss the history, like it starts like this, before the fall, through the fall, how it looks like now. How would Marbas looks like now? Yeah, is it doctor or what he is? Previous soul, previous. It's, we can say, or someone might say, yes, that's a fantasy, but it's not that different from calling the Plan C's fantasy. And I think it's time to create something like new Dictionnaire Infernal. And sometimes when you work with these albums, it affects me in a similar way, like that Jacques Paul Mine. He was having the nightmares. I'm getting nightmares a lot when I was working with, because every album is visualization, every album is invocation. And sometimes even that you do a lot of protections and things, it's not about parasites, it takes energy. And you are sometimes in that, you feel these frenetics of it, like you have to create it, you have to create it, you have to speak about it, you have to do it. So sometimes, or sometimes I do an album about some solar or Martian spirit, and you have to create another spirit that is a little bit like on the opposite scale because it affects this anchor, this energy. Yeah. So it is. That's why I think that these new tools, if used properly, can depict things that are more relatable to us later on. That's why I think, for example, why Behemoth X videos have this almost like hypnotic quality. And so pictures can bring this, paintings, art was always part of it. Oh, I have got a super chat. I haven't got it. Thank you very much, because it's the 5th birthday of this channel. So thank you very much, Kalen. And we haven't spoken for a while, I understand. Yeah, so a lot of these also the spirits that I am using or working with are not only from Lesser Key of Solomon. Yeah, why or how when to choose one, I don't know. Sometimes it just goes and you do it. If you, I have created also other videos recently, musical ones. I'm just starting with the series. It's about the Abramelin operation. So that's an operation that supposedly Crowley was trying to do, and it's a fictional character, Magister Clavus, there. Yeah, so it's a funny thing, but not that funny. The video will be not that funny. Yeah, but it's also a music. But I describe a lot the process, how to go through it. Yeah, through music, through texts, and so on. So it's a different approach. I try to evolve as well. I feel that I can give these feelings about spirits not just through regurgitating the same context all the time, because that's very simply answer. A lot of people, including me, many times we want easy, fast answers. How does this work? But the less we discuss this and we just immerse ourselves into feeling what the spirit is. When you work with the sigil or Lesser Key of Solomon, don't read the book. It was my teacher when I was young, when I started to work with this, because it was the first grimoire that he gave me, of course. So I he told me, you can't read the texts. Just feel the seals. You can't read the text. If I found out that you have read the text, then I will take the book from you. I tried to comply, but it was difficult because I was curious. And it was bad because he was right. So approach art, pictures, symbols more deeply than written text. This is something that I learned from Anima Noira. I know I mentioned her sometimes. This was the lady that did these videos with us some time ago, and she hated books. Can you imagine, like when we discussed this, the magic and things like that? I always started to speak about some edition of Grimoire Verum and things like that. And she told me, like, I have never read that. I go, come on, how can you don't even like this type of things? You are missing it. And she told me, books. I don't. She was very good in writing. Yeah, so it was not an issue of that she hated books because she does not want to learn. And I was even like, and that was the ego speaking, I was like thinking, like, how can she then understand these things? And she never tried to understand it through books. I think now she might even approve that I'm using a little bit different approach. Yeah, so it took me some time to get it. I still love books. Books are it's part of my life. I always like to read, but I'm not putting that much into it. It's just one tool. Yes, there are books that can be with this mystical content that can, for example, let's say, okay, Zohar. Yeah, Zohar is a series of books probably from the 13th century South Spain, created by Jewish community at the time. It's a mystic Judaism, yeah, and that book is so cryptic, and it contains hundreds of pages that a lot of practitioners that are into thaumaturgy and Christian mysticism and Jewish mysticism, they get crazy from it, because when you read it, I don't like crazy. They get, the state of consciousness is changing because it is using so many allegories, yeah, that you can't read it like a text. It should be perceived. It works with visions the same way, a little bit like a Bible. Yeah, a lot of people that read Bible, you can either read it like a story, easy moral stories, or you can read it allegorically. That it meant something by it, the second sense. Or you can read it really like Jewish mystics that are deconstructing the Hebrew alphabet and are trying to find the name of angels and gods from it. Usually those that are working on that level are a little bit strange. So, but that's because it changes. But what is strange? Yeah, it changes the way of perception and understanding. So also books and texts can do it, but so can art, so can symbols, so can sigils and seals. That's why it's so important to look at it. So when, as we have get this good question about Shemyaza, who is Shemyaza? There is no sigil of Shemyaza, by the way. Visualize it. Read the book of Franz Bardon. Try to focus on that. But yeah, I wouldn't go with Shemyaza right now, but it takes some time. But if you feel for it, try to visualize. Yeah, and you get your own sigil. It was like in my whole album about Clauneck. Clauneck is a spirit, or it's little like demon from the true grimoire that his sigil is not in the book because it was lost, and some people attributed it to that Luciferian seal in Grimoirum Verum, or Lucifer's seal, which is not seal, by the way. It's the big pictures in Grimoirum Verum where you have Ashtaroth, Beelzebub, and Lucifer are not their seals. They are pictures of the evocation circles. Yeah, so and the symbols probably that might be Lucifer's or Beelzebub's are those that are on the top, on the, down, yeah, not on the circle, but below, because they are calling signs. It's using German evocation formulas. German evocation formulas are putting, all German evocation formulas are putting symbols, calling signs before the circle. Yeah, in modern demonology, people are just invoking the symbols from Lesser Key of Solomon that are not that old at all. But okay, so there is no seal of Clauneck, and everyone was like looking for it because in that book is written that he can bring riches. So magicians are mostly interested about riches because we are mostly poor. So interesting, you know, like that's also, you get like questions like how can you be poor? I'm not like poor, yeah, but why are you not a millionaire? Even people are asking me, I don't know. Crowley was also not like that, but it's based on the other factors. But it is, everyone was trying to like connect with Clauneck because yeah, riches, yeah. So it was probably the most searched sigil uh, in the in occultism. Yeah, he's not in like Lesser Key of Solomon. He's in the true grimoire, Grimoirum Verum. Yeah, and you will not find the sigil. So even in additional versions, because the true grimoire I think had 5 editions: Italian, French, mostly Italian, French, and I think several French versions with some sigils where they are new and but not Clauneck's. And they believe that if they will have the sigil, of course, it's a calling sign, and they can easily connect with the spirit, and then that can be this rich discussion, the discussion about the riches. So I made it in my own album, yeah. Like the Clauneck is like making fun that you don't know my sigil, but I know you, because the spirit can read you and listen to you, yeah. So I am the one that is judging you. Why should I give you something? I know what you already want, but why I should be doing that? Which is, by the way, the energy that I felt when I worked with that spirit. Have I used the sigil? Yes, I did. What kind of sigil did I use? I visualized it. Will I share it? No. Did it help me? Yeah, I don't know. It's very difficult spirit, by the way. Like when you are getting this, it caused me nightmares. Oh, okay, enough fun. Yeah, so it's still recent. Yeah, so uh, sometimes of these energies and memories are fresh. Yeah, but that's how you approach it. Yeah, if you can't find specific sigil, don't push yourself too much into text, not even to the sigil, because the 3 magical books of Solomon, you look, this is interesting, is yes, that they are artistic, they are beautiful to watch. Someone created them, probably Samuel Gregor Mathers, yeah, but they have a tendency to be synchronic. Yeah, people like synchronicity, so it's nice to look. But in general, you don't get symbols like these. Yeah, Grimoirum Verum sigils are different. They are visualized. Yeah, they are not that nice. but people are definitely the sigil that is visualized by you through automatic drawing. You focus on it and you draw, your hands just make something. Yeah, if you have this concentration technique, are more powerful, are internal sigils than these from the books, but they can help. Yeah. So that's it. Okay, so that's why when I work with these albums, I feel many times exhausted, because especially when I was doing the last one, it was called Floor 47, when I joined those spirits together. Yeah, so some of them, and then each sequence, each music was like it's a party of the spirits. Yeah, it has some, and you have specific like short medallions, videos, one spirit speaking to another, and there is exchange, and it might seem like, oh, this is nice, this is fun, but when you visualize those pictures and everything, you work with several energies in sequence. So it was exhausting for me. I felt like I really wanted to do it, but it was hard. Okay, enough of me. I think we are closing soon, so I'm going to answer some questions. So, what is Clauneck like? Watch my. Really, it sounds like I'm self-promoting myself, but really, I'm proud of my work. Watch my Clauneck album. Is it really like this? I don't know. It's a little bit sedimented, yeah, through my perception. You might feel it differently, but there is something in it. Yeah. Abramelin ritual. There are 2 videos already about it. Whether I did it or not, there are 2 videos about it. They are fictionals. Sorry, it's I don't want to sound like yeah, am I hiding something, but it's difficult for me to speak about some things. It's just like does not go through. Yeah, but I feel there will be moment when I can. Yeah, it's just very strange, especially these months and weeks when I'm working on these videos. I really like I have to be careful what I say, because words are power as well. Yeah, I don't want to sound like cryptic. It's just like you feel, oh no, yeah. Um, this is interesting. Mm, my teacher taught me once. He's very old gentleman now. I will not name him because he wouldn't like it. Yeah. So he taught me that there is, when you work with egregores or spirits, they have different way of like they act sometimes like addictivity, how to call it in English, like they can be addictive, they can be possessivity. I think he even used the word possessivity. And when you work with specific egregores, they tend to pull you in or pull you out or affect you strongly. They are like these big black holes that can take you in. I would say that Asmodeus is one of the very intensive ones. It is very intensive. When you that's why I even my first videos, it's still intensive. It's my most watched video. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know, but even in history of Asmodeus, there was a lot of hysteria. People were getting hysteric. Possessivity was very strong. This possessivity is also very strong in other spirits outside of our grimoire tradition in voodoo. Yeah, I was very close or on the border of Haiti practically 7 months ago, and it's difficult country, and I saw some things like possessions. It's and it was not played. Yeah, it is really, the spirits come and go. So but especially like with the Asmodeus, I would say all of these goetic entities, these are, we call them dark operators. Oh, I forgot the main. I speak about this for hours, and why I call them dark operators is not my term. It's the term of a revered colleague of mine that is sometimes putting some kind of comments under these new videos, and I respectfully borrowed the term. There is definitely something underworldly, chthonic, dark, working with these energies. They are not like, they can be possessive, they can be dominating, they can really try to affect your psyche. These are not parasites. They are much more complex, strong egregores. The tendency to work with these spirit and egregores is that you become part of it, energetic current. So if something is aggressive, something is possessive, something builds up your urges, sexuality, violence, and things like that, yes, you are connecting with it, and it always connects back. Like I said at the beginning, Asmodeus is very strong and possessive spirit. So I wouldn't recommend it for people just perceive the sigils first, touch it lightly. Yeah, it is. If you even, some people ask me, why do you want to work with dark operators? I like this term, dark operators, another good term. And because it enriches you psychologically, it opens something in you, the hidden doors inside of you. You can work, you can't, you have to be very careful, because these energies are so powerful, they can't be mastered. You are just swimming in against the flow, or in it. Yeah, but you have to know when to pull back, and it makes you stronger in a way. Yeah, you understand yourself better. Curiosity, things like that, fascination, obsession. I think I'm getting obsessed a little bit. The more you work with it, you get more and more, but it's addictive. Yeah, so it can help, but it works like that. I haven't seen the movie Simon, King of the Witches. I will have to. Thank you. This is, yeah. Thank you. I will check. This is a bit topic that, yes, we can discuss, but it's a little bit out of the topic right now. Yeah, but Asmodeus can definitely affect the, I would say, the energetic currents and centers in your body. So sexual magic, things like that, but it's a little bit predatory. Yeah. Does giving offerings makes invocation more successful? Definitely yes. But what is the offering? Yeah, so offering must be something that is given and has some kind of emotional or energetical value for you. So usually people that, let's say in Christianity, people give candles, yeah, for their relatives, things like that. That's very powerful, but it must be given like that. Yeah, if you just give the gift because it must be given, it has no value. It does not have to be expensive. Yeah, some people offer blood in our culture. Offer yours, don't offer animal ones. Animal blood is sometimes being offered in Vodun, but it has cultural meaning. It comes from their culture. If you are offering our blood, it's the energy of, but it's gonna cost you energetically. Yeah, I did it a lot. Yeah, I still have scars on my hands from hundreds of these small offerings. But don't use much. You can cut yourself too much, and that's bad. It's painful, and yeah, don't offer blood. Now I don't need it. But especially with the spirits that are like these kings, yeah, it was written that you should come up with some of candle or something, yeah, or picture, paint it. When you are doing the sigil, don't print it. It's not gift. Paint it by your hand. Does not have to be perfect. Try to have it, make it nice. Make a picture. Once working with Dantalion, I get like a strange urge because these spirits work with sometimes with urges that I want this. Some spirits, especially now in as I work with the Woden, it was like I felt like I need chocolate, I need coffee, I need rum. Yeah, it works through you. But with Dantalion, I had like you have to burn a book of poetry because that will be costly for you. And I like books. And I said, no, but that probably would be a strong book, but a strong gift. But first, it's dangerous to fire, like doing it at home. And I like books, but the feeling was like that. Yeah. So you should feel what is the right gift. Yeah, but I wouldn't do gifts like people do, like in this morbid scenery, like animal offerings and so on. It's like if you are not from shamanistic area or culture, where when in Africa or in voodoo, when they are offering goat, they do it because they eat it later. So it's a feast, and we do here have these morbid fantasies about things. I don't mean you in general. Yeah, I'm very much against modern animal offerings if they are not based by cultural disposition. Yeah, it's like it's just yeah. So offer something nice that is interesting for you. Well, uh, have to meet still someone that can. This is difficult. You can also individualize it, like work with self stimulation and so on, but there are some specific groups. Fraternitas Saturni in Germany, I heard that they have like they are working on this gnostic rites and things like that. Might be interesting. Yeah. Okay. Can spirits be jealous? I feel intense working with Marbas in thankful way, but I feel others want to talk. I wouldn't say jealous, although some shamanistic cultures might say yes, they are. Yeah, it's more that sometimes these energies are not working well in tandem. Yeah, so there are even rules in some pantheons, like Santa Muerte, for example. When you have an altar of Santa Muerte, you can't just put Buddha next to her. Yeah, it's not gonna end well. Yeah, there is going to be something bad. Yeah, something will not be right. Yeah, so you don't feel it. Yeah, so technically, working with multiple spirits, like I did sometimes, it requires a lot of energy, feeling for it. I would recommend you, if you are like just starting or working with it, even to do to work with one. Yeah, or if you know them better, then you can switch. Yeah, like shamans do, or mambos and so on. But I mentioned Behemoth X so much today, but it came to my mind because when you watch sometimes his work, he's saying, and that working. He has like a cycles. He work like month with a specific spirit or 3 months deep uh, uh, deep connection, yeah, deep immersion. So but before you do this deep work, just feel it. Yeah, you can speak with more. They can be, because as I explained before, these energies have this type of possessivity. So you will be having this more and more. They are like this and that and this and that. It's the similar with the dead, like that they try to speak to you, yeah. And you are a magician. You have to decide what is important for you, and what is important for you is not sometimes for the spirits or egregores. It must come from you. And how to get this, that start with, if you are used practitioner, you will know. If not, you work with Franz Bardon's initiation into hermetics, and you will get there. But I wouldn't be taking too many, because every connection takes some kind of energy, and you might feel tired or end up like me sometimes with I get ill. I get yeah, that happens. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I still probably I'm going to work on other intros. I'm planning to do some other. I don't want to overpromise, but there will be more streams later, and I will be changing the intros also for the streams. Yes, it can. It can. So technically, what I should I suggest, because YouTube will say that I'm trying to don't know. Yeah. So this is painful. Yeah. This is less painful. This is not that painful, but be careful, because you can hear, yeah, this meaty part. Yeah, but you should use always clean, very clean razor or something like that. But yeah, come on, like if some 15 years old got person hears this, don't be crazy. Yeah, yeah, like use common sense. Candles are enough. It's not necessary to do it. Yeah, I don't mean you, sir, or I'm sorry, lady, but in general, for the kids, because they shouldn't be like watching this at all. It's not about blood. It can be, yeah, it can be, yeah, it's very powerful because you are offering it, but it's not necessary. Yeah, more important than this is concentration, yeah, imagination, visualization. I am connecting with the spirit. Yes, it can help, but so can lighting up the candle. In my practice, when I was less experienced and a little bit hasty, I was using these offerings because it gave me this edge. Yeah, this, because when you do the blood cut, it's a shock, even small one. It's a pain. It's like something burning. Yeah, and it changes your consciousness, but it feels painful even 2-3 days afterwards. Yeah, and when you move something, and it can be dangerous, or you can get infection, a lot of things like that, and it creates bad habit, because when you do more, and that was my problem, when you do a lot of invocations like that, then you become like, oh, I have to do this because it's easy. The more I started to work with invocation, yeah, now I don't do it. I don't work. I don't do blood offerings anymore because I don't have to. It's there are better ways. So for the kids that shouldn't be listening to this, learn it properly. I started doing invocations when I was 14 years old. That was probably too early for a kid. I started with Franz Bardon's initiation into hermetics. It messed me pretty much. Yeah. but I had these the dreams even before. But I know like people are trying, but I am not very much into young people working with magic. Maybe at 15, just start, but do other things, sports, healthier. Yeah, magicians should be older. So that blood, at the end, you will not need it. It's just painful. Interesting question. Is making a talisman using ashes from sigils I burn okay? Why not? Uh, in whatever works for you. Definitely, it can help when you have it in a patch or something like that. That is used many times. They are, of course, but if you are burning the sigil, uh, it can work. Yeah. Usually, however, if you really want to go into it, what would be maybe that can have a good psychological effect for you. Yeah, because it will remind you always about the ritual that you did. And it will create some kind of crutch, but it's a good thing. Yeah, like psychological crutch connection with the spirit, because you will think, okay, I burn it, then there is like this invisible connection. If you strongly visualize and believe in it, then it works. There are also other things that are people doing. And again, we have lost this connection with nature. They are using specific herbs that have planetary or energetical components that are good or welcomed by the spirit, because they are very close to their nature. Some plants that are growing during moon phase, so are good to work with the lunar spirits or spirits that are easily invoked during moon phases. Incenses are very sometimes good, and but you can have them also in the patches. Dragon blood, for example, does not have to be only burned. Imagine that you will be using dragon blood, these red stones, this resin, it's resin, that is burned, and you will keep a little bit of it and you will put it into the pouch. That's even stronger, because then you have something like the real material that was partially transferred during the fire process, and you will keep part of it. So that's the actual material. A little bit better than ash, yeah, but it's good. Just stay creative. Do a lot of creative things. Uh, can fasting increase it? Because creativity is fun of magic. Don't follow the protocol. Yeah. Like Marbas is speaking, you can use protocol for good and bad. That also came to me some time ago. Can fasting increases the ability to talk? Absolutely. Yes, for sure. Yeah, very important. Yeah. For major operations mostly. But if you are doing even simple invocations, your chances, connections, if you stay 24 hours, but drink a lot of water. Water is very important, even from health perspective. Yeah, 1 day of fasting is healthy, um, but I do it also. Yeah, but I did a lot of fastings before. When you see the videos, when I was like 5 years ago, I was that thin. Yeah, but now I I use different methods. It's difficult. Yeah. So, but yes, fasting is important. And 24 hours, try 24 hours before every invocations. Just don't do invocations every day, but if you prepared for it, timing and so on, it's also not that important, but it's good to do it in specific times, but definitely. And for major operations, 3 days, week, but you have to train for it. You have to choose, you have to eat something. Yeah, it can't be like you eat nothing. The body will get in total shock. Yeah, so we are living in modern age. So I was using a lot of vitamins, for example. Okay, I haven't been eating a day, but I get like vitamin C 500 milligrams, yeah, magnesium, yeah, just to stay, the brain should work, but it will cleanse your body and things like that. Don't use, again, kids, supplements, shitty drugs, and stupid, cheap things that should like change your consciousness. It's so hazy, cheap, and I'm not speaking about morality. That's, it just does not work. You will get into some stages that you can't control. Magic is about the control. Fasting. Try to fast 3 days. You will have mind like a diamond. Thank you that you have stopped by. Thank you. Okay. I think. Oh, the dark question at the end. So, how can magic be used to destroy one's illusion instead of operating from them? Them? How can magic be used to destroy one's illusion? I think that's the without working on yourself. You know, there are so many techniques and so many good things that I like that are outside of just magical work. Yeah. People that do sports regularly, people that do martial arts, people that paint, people that sing, people that have devotion to some creativity, people that love fishing, not for mass fishing, but for the the moment, staying in the silence, people that are just making the land about themselves nice, people that have a lot of flowers. I have a small place with balcony that is full of a lot of flowers because I use it also for workings and so on. So botanists, these type of things outside of magic can all work to destroy this sediment of ego that we have. If you watch a flower every day, how it changes, how it reacts to water, if you work and speak with the flower, feel the energy of it. If you watch animals around you, it will create this empathy. People that have animals, some can't, yeah, allergies and so on. We live in this strange life. Even our bodies are starting to be allergic to things around us due to food and so on. But if you have this, if you work with a dog or a cat, you have this empathy. Empathy is very important. Connection, yeah. So work on connection. Yeah. So when we are and start with the but Franz Bardon again and again. The first techniques are feel the stone, feel the flower, feel the animal, imagine things. Yeah, try to feel the energy of the street, the place. I did a lot of videos, magic school with Magister Clavus, connecting with the areas around you. What is the state of the moon right now? Is it full? Is it declining? Do you know? Have you thought that question? Maybe yes, that's good. What is the, when, do you think, can you see the stars if you will be looking outside right now? Yeah. Or what are the big trees around your house? Have you touched them? These are techniques, you know, and these all can destroy the illusions, because when we are secluded in a society or everywhere around us, we create these illusions, yeah, about something outside. Yeah. So connecting with otherness, other outside us, and other absolutely that we are not even aware of. Yeah, this strange world of egregores, it's helping. Invocations are helping. You are connecting with something. Yeah. But not for egoistic reasons. A lot of people connect with spirits because they read like Clauneck brings money. Yes, it can have some aim. Yeah. But first, before you do this question, I need money, because sometimes we need money or we need this or that in our life. Ask why it is important. Then ask again why, and then ask again why. Yeah. A lot of corporate talk and managerial and coaching is using these watered down magical techniques. Ask 3 times internally, honestly, yourself, why do I need to do this? Why this spirit? And you get into it. Always connect, feel. Go to a shopping mall, yeah, feel the place. Is it negative? How are the people? What are these people doing? Go for a coffee tomorrow, sit, watch the people. Not too much, like so they don't look at you strangely, yeah, but who are they? How are they? Are they going somewhere? What is their life? Not all these guys look stupid. That girl is awesome, or that man, yeah, he's rich, he's poor. No, it's like, how is his day? How does he feels? How it is to be like him? Mentally trying to impersonate him, feeling like him. Then you start to realize that the illusion starts to crack. Yeah. And watch my videos about, please, if you like, um, uh, this Abramelin operation. I am trying to make something like that there. Yeah, that's a very tough ritual. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I need to go to sleep. It's already, oh my, yeah, it's not that late. It's like almost 1 a.m. in my time. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you understand now a little bit my motives behind doing these videos. Yeah, for me, it's a little bit more than just like musical project. Yeah. So we will see what it will become in the future. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's too late. Yeah, you should also sleep, because tomorrow I understand that you are in Prague. You should probably see the Charles Bridge. It's better to see it early morning, because then it's so crowded with people that you don't see anything. But if you arrive maybe at 7 morning, then you will be see something nice. Yeah, maybe if you are not too tired. Sorry, but yeah, that's life. Okay, enjoy it. It was nice to see you all. Thank you very much. And yeah, we will see each other soon.